No brains, like, no brains at all. Literally no brains. Hello everyone and welcome to a special Finke edition of Frogs Hollow TV, brought to you again by our great partners at TC Media and Rose & Sons Earth Movie. I'm fortunate enough tonight to be joined by a sore and sorry wheelie. He rose from his hospital bed yesterday in town, but he's alive and well. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Yeah, a bit sore and sorry for myself, but that's how it goes, and that's life.
And there's a lot of people you'd like to thank.
Mate, let's don't go there, okay? We don't need tears this time of the night, so early in the night, but yeah, we'll do that at the end of the night. Yeah. We want to thank everyone, mate.
Very lucky again, Wheelie. It's Finke Week, mate. Very exciting. One of the biggest events of the year. 151 car entries this weekend. I mean, it's so exciting. I can't believe it's been 12 months since we did the last Finke show, but we're back again.
It only feels like, not being silly, 6 months. It's ridiculous.
Comes and goes, doesn't it?
Comes and goes.
And it's a big week, obviously. Social media's a buzz, all the crews, like Swinglehurst's teams have been up there for over a week now. And
the buzz with them up there, mate, plus the other media side of it, all of us, mate. Pre-running, just getting everything prepped and making, not being the show and shine.
It's a spectacle, isn't it? It really is. So straight into the show, and we do have a massive one in store for you all tonight. We will present a full preview in each class at this year's Finke Desert Race, along with our outright selections. We were also fortunate enough to catch up during the week with Matty Hanson, Howells, and also Darren Leigh Wells, who gave us some fascinating insights into this weekend and much, much more. Throughout our show tonight, you'll also be treated to some more stunning coverage courtesy of Ben and Shane Hutt, Corey Aldridge of Show and Go Photography, Jesse Barnes from One Shot Media, SMU Racing, Ali Howells, Brett Lehman, Element Off-Road, and Paul Charlton of Aussie Off-Road Media. We thank you again for supplying the goods. It's been another crazy build-up for Finke this year, Wheelie. By now, everyone is either in transit or have arrived in Alice Springs, with final preparations and pre-running in full swing. I know you've been to the Finke Desert Race. It must be a pretty incredible feeling once you arrive into the Northern Territory and make yourself into Alice.
It's the drive over is the most funnest time you ever have. Get over there, set up, pre-run it. When I used to go to the Territory and that, it used to be great, mate.
Pretty loose.
Oh, loose. You know what? More beers you drink, better it gets.
So before we kick off our class previews, we would like to share with you a pretty special chat we had with 2012 AIRC champion Matty Hanson during the week. He's coming off a strong third at Pooncarie last month and is a genuine outright contender once again in Alice Springs. Take a listen. Hey Matt, welcome to Frogs Hollow TV. I know you've just arrived in Alice Springs this afternoon, mate. How's things?
Yeah, really good, thanks Toby. Going well. Yeah, got here. They've had a bit of rain this week, but the sun was shining today, so good to be back up in the Alice.
So, your recent performance, mate, I was lucky enough to be down there about a month ago. You finished third outright at the Pooncarie Desert Dash. I know it's not the top spot where I know you like to be, but you would have took a lot of positives out of that, your first finish in a couple of years down there at Pooncarie.
Yeah, it was. We haven't done much racing in the last couple of years, so I think we pretty much just had the 2 St George starts in 2 years and didn't finish either of them. So to get a finish on the board was good. We had a few small issues during the day, but hats off to Ryan Taylor, who drove a terrific race, as did Shane Elphingston. They both had great drives. So it's good to get a finish, and looking forward to this one.
Yeah, and it was a pretty full-on race too. I know a lot of the guys, they really felt it at the end of the 400Ks down there. And obviously it's a good hit out for Finke, which is obviously this weekend. The Jimco come out all right from Pooncarie.
Yeah, it did. You're right. It was a strange type of race, Pooncarie. It was quite sandy. Everyone was using a lot of fuel. You're having to work pretty hard. It was pretty rutted up. And it's just sort of, differing terrains and the cars. I don't know, our car never sort of felt settled all weekend. So the good thing out of it is, our car, other than needing a new fiberglass roof where we had a little bit of a whoopsie, Yeah, came out of it really well. So everything's pretty fresh, and looking forward to this week and the weekend.
A few reports from a few of the rival competitors. I reckon the track could be even smoother and faster than it was last year. I know you couldn't make it last year due to COVID, of course, but that's interesting as well. I heard from one of the top pro buggy competitors reckons whoever's out in front, if it's a buggy, they could have a field day out there.
Yeah, look, we were up here a couple of weeks ago, and I had a look at a little bit of the track, and I had a look at the prologue track today, and it is from what I can see, and I haven't gone the whole way, but it does look pretty. It does look pretty smooth. So, from a little bloke in a little buggy with only 20 inches of travel, I'm okay with that.
You're happy with that, yeah.
Those big trucks that have got the 40 inches of travel, once those whoops get really big, they're hard to chase down and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, it does. It does look smooth from what I've seen, and I think the rain has probably solidified that a bit and hardened it all up. So it'll be interesting.
So just give the fans a bit of an insight. I know obviously social media is a buzz this week with everyone travelling to Alice Springs from all over the country, and obviously the show and sign on Thursday, scrutiny on Friday. But what's a week in Alice Springs look like for Matty Hanson and the crew before the race day?
Yeah, it's a good question, Toby. It's generally the week before the race. It's a big week. Like it's like they're 12-hour days generally, depending on what happens sort of, with the car. So we'll probably pre-run the track most days. Probably give ourselves a rest right towards the end. Obviously, with all the cars, we've got their navigation systems in there. So just marking any gotchas and anything that we sort of think that needs to be done, and then you sort of refine that as you go through in the week.
Yeah.
Have a good look at the prologue track. So get around that and see that, and then we'll probably aim to give the car just a little bit of a run, probably Wednesday or Thursday. And it'll be no more than sort of 10 or 15 minutes just to make sure everything's doing what we need to do. We've got to make some decisions on suspension settings, given that where the whoops are.
Yeah.
So it's sort of funny. It ends up being, it can be quite a big week just in terms, because it's early starts. Of course, you've got to get up early, and you can only go one way down the track up to midday, and then then you got to turn around and come back the other way. So it's pretty quick going down there in a registered four-wheel drive. It takes a fair bit of time, especially if you've got a few whoops. So that's pretty much us. I think the car gets here Wednesday, so that was probably later than what was planned. But I ended up having COVID last week, which wasn't much fun, and then I didn't want to just have it to myself, so I shared it with Nigel, the navigator, so he got it as well. So he's just in the last few days of isolation. I think he's finished today, actually, so he's in the truck tomorrow.
And just a quick one to finish, Matty. I don't ask too many people, but if there was if outside of Matty Hanson and Nigel Penderbury this weekend, who do you think could be the one to beat?
That's a good question. Geez, I was thinking about that today. It's just, honestly, I reckon you could throw a blanket over 10 of them. There's so many people capable of winning this race.
That's what's so exciting about it, I think, every year.
It is, so it's going to be who prologues well, and then who, obviously has the trouble-free run.
Yeah.
Look, up there, I mean, Josh Howells gone to another level this year, so I think he's probably going to be one of the front-running buggy boys, you'd think. My mate Bo Robinson. If anyone deserves to win this race, it's got to be him. There's a guy called Toby Price. I think he knows his track pretty well, so he's going to be.
It'll be hard to beat.
Guys like Greg Gardner, Ryan Taylor's doing things that just he's gone to that next level.
Ryan's on the next level this year.
There's a lot of people in that conversation, isn't there?
And then you've got the you can nearly call them the veteran status, the Glennie Owens and even Hayden Bentley's back in the four-wheel drive.
Absolutely. There's just no shortage of ex-winners here. You're right. Glenn Owen, if he gets the right run, there's just so many. It's good. Yeah, awesome. It's difficult, but if I had to pick one, I really, really hope. I'd love to see Bo win it. Nothing would make me happier than seeing him up on the top step. It'd be well deserved, I reckon.
Yeah. Righto, Matty. Thanks for your time. I know it's a busy week, and I probably got you at the right time on your first night in Alice. But thanks for joining Frogs High TV, and we wish you all the best, and hopefully you can get there and back, and see where you end up, mate.
Hey, thanks very much, Toby, to you and Derek. You blokes do a terrific job with that show. I've been watching a fair bit of it lately. I reckon you're doing fantastic things for off-road racing. It's really great that you're getting out there and putting the time in. So well done. And I appreciate your well wishes. Hopefully we can get some sort of result. Cheers.
Yeah. Thanks, Matty.
Thanks, Toby. See you, mate. Once again, appreciate your support. That was awesome, and first time on the show, and hopefully not your last. All the best this weekend. So now on to our first of our class previews wheelie this weekend. We do expect each class to be hotly contested. There's a few classes that haven't got the big numbers like some of the high horsepower divisions, but yeah, like always at Finke, you really don't know who's going to be at the top, but we'll take a bit of a stab in the dark. And
it's a stab in the dark all around, mate.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start? Like
each class, like.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the joys of not only motorsport and off-road racing, but Finke in general. It throws you get into that prologue area with 5Ks to go and you're still not home.
And they're dead right, and you think, I've got to get over that line.
Jeff McNiven last year, just a bit of a side note, ran out of fuel literally 200 metres from the finish line, pushed it the whole way home, and it might have been 400 metres, I think, but he cost him the class win. Well, that's just how it works.
That's how it works, mate. It's how it goes.
The joy of the job. So now onto the production four-wheel drive class. The off-road world has nearly lost count of how many times Jeff Pickering's won the production four-wheel drive class. Not only at Finke, but the Australian Championship. I can't go past him. There's three entrants. Obviously, Warren Luff's there in the VW Amarok. Also, Jody Allen in a FJ Cruiser. But, I mean, he's going for his 15th Finke title, 15th ORC title. The man's 78 years of age. I can't go past Jeff Pickering.
I'm the same, mate. If he finishes, mate, he's got it. That's how it goes. And yeah,
I don't like talking about off-roaders retiring, but when Jeff Pickering does eventually put the helmet up, he'll have to go down from the turn of the century as one of the great of all time.
He will, mate, because even though he's not in a pro car, mate,
his record will
the
never
amount
be
of
broken.
Kilometres that he's finished. Just go on the kilometres.
And a shout out to his team. I know Bernard. I don't have much to do with those guys up there. They're based in Townsville. The kilometres they do, I know it's the same as Bo and those guys at W. It's all the same thing. The support they show for not only the championship but off-road racing in general is first class. So now to the production two-wheel drive class. There's 5 entries in 2022. I've gone to South Australia's Chris Pickett in the Mitsubishi Triton. He won the class at Finke in 2019. He had 4 or 5 top 5 finishes in South Australia last year behind the man Aaron Havey. Dan Azinski, the Queenslander, is also a chance, but Chris Pickett for me in class production two-wheel drive.
I've done the same thing, Tobe. So yeah, Chris is there for me. If it holds together, he's definitely there, mate. And believe it or not, he's definitely in the top 20.
So now onto our extreme four-wheel drive class. Only 4 crews representing this weekend in Alice Springs. Who's your pick, Wheelie?
Well, believe it or not, mate, I know he's got a new truck. I know he's made his record in the Can-Am, the side-by-side, mate.
On the motorbike.
And the motorbikes. I'm actually, if Phil can keep the new truck together, I reckon Phil will be there.
Phil love it.
Phil love it.
Right, so extreme four-wheel drive champion.
Yep.
I can't go past Hayden Bentley. He's a 2-time champion. And that was in a pro buggy. He returns again in the Racer all-wheel drive, the Nissan 3.5 twin turbo. He's I think he's a genuine top 5 chance. I don't know if he'll
definitely.
At the top of the pack this year in the four-wheel drive. But I think he's a huge chance, and I think he'll win the four-wheel drive for me. So getting through the classes, Wheelie, now into the Super 1650 category. I can't go past last year's champion Simon Tucker out of Streaky Bay in South Australia. We actually camped next to him in a blizzard down there at Loveday a couple of years ago.
We did.
Had a few ales with Simon and the family.
Oh, I'm the same. I went Tucker as well, Tobe. So
yeah.
And I've been on the couch all day, and this is not good.
But he's in his Toyota-powered Rats Bag machine.
Yep.
I think he goes on the top of the Super 1650 ranks. Young local Timmy Button, good shout out to you, mate. I know you haven't finished, I think, Desert Race yes, but hopefully this is your year in your Hunter Rivmaster.
Yep.
Definitely one to watch. Now the Sports Light field, 7 crews will do battle. Griffith Stephen Graham for me, he's claimed the last 3 titles. In his, he had his Tatum there, Illumicraft last year, and his Tatum a couple of years before that. He's definitely the one to beat, and I think this year he'll break, hopefully for the team, Graham will break into the top 10 outright.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I've got a bit of a stab in the dark. Sam Bentley, good genes, mate, and if he can get into the groove,
Young Hayden.
Yep, he's got a good car. If he can get in the groove, look out for him.
Yeah, he was definitely one to watch.
Yeah,
I love this stuff so much. You see Sam Bentley now, 16, 17-year-old, his second Fink, and there's the progression that these young drivers will make. As you said, it's in the genes, so they're destined for a big future in off-road racing. I think Rod Viesa's another one that'll have a crack in his Illumicraft. And it's also great to see one of our mates, Derek Crookwell's Paul going up there and his
It's actually good to see Paul doing it. And I wish him all the best. Wish him all the best, mate, because he's, like I said, mate,
he hasn't really raced for years.
No,
he's obviously picked Fink 22 out.
And I reckon good on him.
Yeah, I reckon he'll go well too. It's a good car and all the best.
All the best.
Before we go any further, Wheelie, we'd now like to introduce our next special guest for the show. Last night we caught up with 1990 and 1995 AORC champion Darren Wells and 2012 Australian Navigator champion Leigh Wells, where we chatted all things Fink, and we were even lucky enough to get a few sneaky selections from the Victorian experts. Check it out. So a big welcome on our show tonight to Darren and Leigh Wells, 2 of our Fink experts down there in Victoria. How are we, man?
Good, thanks, Toby.
How are you, boys? Wheelie here.
Hey, Wheelie, how are you, mate?
Yeah, mate, bloody good. On the mend, mate, on the mend.
How are you, Leigh?
They told me that you've had a bit of an accident there, but I'm sure you're a quick healer.
Oh, I'm a very quick healer, trust me.
How are you, Leigh?
G'day, boys. Wheelie, good to see you up and about, mate.
Yeah, mate, thank you.
Thanks for having us on.
No, you're welcome anytime. I'm glad to actually sit down and have a yarn to you. That's what I love.
Pretty exciting, man. Obviously, Fink Week only comes around once a year, and so much to look forward to in the coming days.
Oh, it certainly is. Fink race is one of our biggest races on the calendar. And, of course, up there this weekend, we've got some of the big guns running. So it's going to be a toss of the coin who's going to win the prologue and who's going to take the chocolates at the end of the weekend. They only graded half the track last year. They've graded the rest of it this year. I reckon they'll go down in about 1 hour 25 by the look of it. I've seen some photos of the track, and she'll be a sprint this year. Anybody that's got a heap of horsepower and big kahunas, they'll win that one.
And Leigh, you obviously know the track as good as anyone. You've been in there with Matty Hanson. You don't get much quicker than him in the old Jimco. Who do you like on Saturday? Obviously, prologue's a big thing down at Fink, and who you got your eye on?
Yeah, I've just got off the phone to Matt actually, and he's done the track again today, down to Fink and back, and he said they've graded a lot of it. They've had a lot of rain too, which has really settled it down, and it's just got that, just taken the edge off, so it's like perfect conditions. The prologue track has graded a lot of the whoops out too, he tells me. So this year's it's certainly going to be a quick one, and it might be one for the buggies this year, unless it chops up more than what we think it's going to be. So for the prologue, it's definitely going to be on this year, because the buggies are just going to be, they'll probably be the front runners in the qualifying course, I'd reckon. I actually agree with you. So all the twin turbo cars, mate, are on my list. I've got Howells, Aaron James, Hanson, Glenn Owen. He's gone back to the Fink.
Yeah.
So I've got Shen in there as well, because he knows the track real well, and he's done very well there over the time too. So I've got Shen up there. I know he's got a new car, but I got him in the picture there as well for some reason.
Yeah, how could you ever, count him out, really? That's for sure. So
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, all those buggies are in my tip for the prologue. In the race, the trucks might come into their own a little bit more, but it's just going to be one of those. It's turning into a, it was an endurance race, but it's turning into like a sprint race, because if you add up, say, an hour and a half, hour 35 minutes this year, on the run trip, you're looking at the winner doing the complete race in just over 3 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
So it's just getting shorter and shorter every year, and it's it's really turning into a sprint race, that's for sure.
What about you, Darren? Who do you like in 2022 for the Finke Desert Race?
Well, to be honest with you, I printed out the empty form today, and all the front runners. I didn't even turn the page. I've got all the prologue winners as being in the pro buggy class.
Yeah.
I reckon the trucks are too heavy. If the prologue track is as fast as what they're telling me, it'll be a buggy that'll win it.
Yeah.
I know this guy hasn't driven for a little bit of time. We haven't seen him around for a while, but gee, Glenn Owen's hard to beat in the prologue.
Yeah, I agree.
That twin turbo car of his, Glenny Owen and Aaron James, boy, geez, it'll be a toss-up between those two boys. But Joshy Howells, God, he goes hard, doesn't he, old Josh?
He's gone to the next level, hasn't he? He's really, he's turned into the new, the way he prologues. And I know he said he left a lot out there, obviously, in the prologue at Pooncara, and he dominated that pretty well. So it'd be really cool to see what he can throw up the stumps on Saturday. And
I really don't think that it's going to worry about who wins the prologue, because I think with the amount of rain out up through the centre there recently, and I've seen some photos of the circuit, I don't think there's going to be a lot of dust around.
Yeah, right.
So, and being as fast as it looks, boy, gee, those front-running cars will be going hard.
Yeah.
And it's all about track knowledge. And of course, Toby Price, he knows the track really well. He doesn't take his foot off it. He's got that thing down to the floor everywhere.
Yeah.
Just steers it around all those corners. Even if he prologues in the top 10, he'll still be up near number one when you get down the other end of the Finke if he doesn't have any trouble with the truck.
Yeah, I agree with you, Darren. I totally agree. But I reckon you're right. The buggies for the prologue, and then I reckon the trucks will come back, and I reckon the trucks on the way back, on the run back, will be the way. You'll have to be very careful to watch. Very careful.
Oh, absolutely, really. Yeah. And see, I've got a few trucks marked here. I've got Davey Fellows. He doesn't run much anymore, but
I've got
he knows his
Fellows,
way around the Finke.
Yeah.
Greggy Gartner.
Yeah, Greg Gartner. Don't rule him out.
Oh.
Yeah.
How's the wheel stands he was doing there last year at about 130 mile an hour?
And then we've got no one's mentioned the man himself, Bo Robinson and Shane Hutt in the. I don't know if it's official or not, but I've heard that they could be running the new truck this weekend. Not 100% sure on that. They're not giving much away, but I mean, if there's, as Matty Hanson said last night, if there's one crew that deserved to win the Finke, it's OBR.
Well, Bo Robinson does deserve to win the Finke, but unfortunately, I've got this theory, and it's worked in the last 40 years. New trucks, new buggies don't go far. They need to be sorted out.
Yeah.
And you need to get about 2 or 3 races on them. Yeah. Unfortunately, a brand new vehicle like that of Bo Robinson's, if he does use it, it's a big move. Yeah. But, they always have those little problems.
Well, you are dead right there.
Anyway, it'll be very, very interesting. But no, my money's on the buggies to win the prologue. And then we'll see what happens race day.
And you've got some pro lights, Lee. Obviously, Brenny Martin pretty well, Jason Richards, Andrew Miles, young Matthew Burrows, Ali Howes is having a great season. I mean, they're all podium chances if they have a good run.
Yeah, I've got a few of those. Mark, mate. The pro lights are just getting quicker and quicker every year. Brent Martin's just extremely competitive in his car. He got third outright 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But another smoky I've got, which is in a completely different class, is Hayden Bentley in the Racer Engineering Twin Turbo Trophy truck.
Yeah.
He knows that place very well. And has had good results there. If that truck can stay together and as fast as what I've seen it go, does a lot of testing up there. So he's my roughie in the you call it the trophy truck class, but the four-wheel drive class.
Yeah.
But I've got like Darren said earlier about the new trucks. Like we said that last year with Toby Price, and he rocked up and just didn't put a foot wrong and took the chocolate. So you just never know.
You just don't know. That's the beauty about off-road, I suppose, motorsport and Finke in general. You really, until whatever 9:30, 10 o'clock Monday morning, we literally won't have any idea who's going to be the new champion. Just a quick one before we leave tonight. AORC 2022 Championship, obviously a big one at Fink. Got Love Day Rainbow, which we'll see you at, and then obviously over the west to Kalgoorlie in October. I know it's only early, halfway point, but can you give us a quick 2022 champion?
Well, I've gone through the list of the results so far, and looking at consistency and someone that's really impressed me is Jake Swinglehurst in Shannon Men's Gold Cup.
I agree. Totally agree.
This is my tip, and look, I'm very impressed with how he's gone about it.
Yeah.
Doesn't overdrive the car, just sits in there, hangs in there, doesn't go out and try and break it in the prologue, and he's always seems to be around that 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th position.
Yeah.
And as we know, it's all about points and finishes. So I really like the way he's sitting at the moment and how he's going about it.
And he's got his sister in the car with him. He's literally driven the Jimco 3 times. He won the dam buster over at St George last October, and then obviously St George this year and Pooncarie. So, I mean, the transition that he's made to the top is quite remarkable. Obviously, another name we didn't mention going back to Fink is Ryan Taylor. I mean, he's leading the championship. He's, it's been...
He's my pick because I reckon Ryan's drove extremely well in the first 2 races. He runs that little, that car. He drives it extremely well at the moment, and we've seen him in with that win at the last event, which impressed me, and then second at the one before that.
Yeah.
All he's got to do is just keep up. To win championships, you've got to finish races. And at the moment, his consistency's good. So I've always said you've got to finish first. You must first finish. And I think Ryan's driving like that this year, and by gee, it'll be a big party up in Queensland when he does win the championship.
I was going to say, I'm on the flight home from Kalgoorlie with Ryan if he gets it done. Well, we won't make Alice Springs this weekend, but we'll be seeing you both at Hillston for the second round of the ARB Australian Off-Road Championship in about a month's time, so we're looking forward to getting down there with you guys there.
Definitely see you there.
Yeah, it should be a big race down there, as long as it's... the rain stays away. They're telling me it's a bit wet up that way at the moment. So I'm sure Hillston will be a top event.
Yeah. And you, Lee, what are your plans this year? Obviously come over to Hillston for a look.
Yeah, I'm just going to... I want to take my boy up to Hillston, show him the ropes and what it's all about, and just taking a pair of earmuffs when the stories get too much for him. But, looking forward to getting up there and then heading over to Rainbow. And I think we're all going to pitch in and do the commentary together there, so it'd be good to catch up, fellas. And,
so it'll be good. We'll be there.
Just us Victorians have been locked up for too long, so just trying to get away as much as I can this year, mate.
Good.
Catch up with everyone and have a few beers and catch up with everyone.
Sounds good. Right, Darren and Lee, thanks for joining us on Frogs Hollow TV for our Finke preview. Obviously, it's all presumptions, and we really got no idea what's going to happen on the weekend. But it's good to have a chat and hear from some of the experts down there in Melbourne, and hopefully, see you in a month's time down at Hillston.
Thanks again, Toby. Thanks, Wheelie. Hope you get well, Wheelie.
Yeah, mate, thank you very much, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, boys, and glad to hear you're on the men, Wheelie, and all the best, mate.
Yeah, mate, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
See you, boys.
So thanks, Darren Leigh. Awesome stuff. Great to chat with you. As Derek said on the chat, we could have talked to you for hours, but we've got a show to get on with, and all the best this weekend. So now the naturally aspirated side-by-side sport class, only 5 entrants. It's a sort of class that has dropped a few numbers. They've stepped up to that Pro Turbo division. But another really close one to pick. I've gone with the home ground and form line here with Rick Chambers. He won the Fink last year in his side-by-side sport. I think it'll be a tight battle in the Yamahas between him and John Wise, who's leading the side-by-side Australian Championship battle. But
yeah, I actually... Again, I agree totally with you, mate.
I think if Rick Chambers has a nice run, I think him and Johnny Wise will be there.
Yep.
Thereabouts. Onto the side-by-side pro class, and simply wow. 64 entries. Almost half the Fink entries are coming from this pro class. It's an amazing show of support for this relatively new class, really. They've been in it for around 10 years now, but they really start to make a force. And last year's...
And they're going hard, mate.
Yeah, they're going very hard, nearly too hard at times. But Kai Floyd, last year's winner, is returning to Fink in a King Chrome Polaris. He's joining the Simon and Jackson Evans crew. So all the best to Kai. I've got you in my selections, mate. I haven't seen any form on the board for over 12 months now, but all the best to Kai Floyd.
I've got him there.
I think your girlfriend...
At Howells
I think his girlfriend will be a finisher like I than him this year. That's for sure. So there's winners everywhere for me in the class. I nearly got a bit of a head spin looking through the entries. There's that many, but I've leaned towards Kalgoorlie, champion from last year, Nick Hicks. We met Nick Hicks at Pooncarie earlier in the year. I think he showed that he's got the speed, and I think he's shown that the reliability in the Simon Herman built Can-Am. I think he's the one to beat for me. I've also gone Josh Weidman. I think super fast. He could win 3 prologues in a row in ORC 11 this year. All the best, mate. And they had a big off down there at Pooncarie with the old man beside you. But he's got Bryce Derrick in the navigator seat. So hold on tight, Bryce. You're in for a ride across the whoops there in Alice. And I'll go with the ever-consistent Greg Campbell to round out the podium.
Well, I've gone Greg Campbell first. Nick Hicks second. I reckon they'll follow each other's dust. And Clive Floyd, if he can keep it together. If he can keep it together. He owes me beer if he does.
So many contenders. Obviously, that's just our picks. Frogs Hollow TV, our form's not great, so I wouldn't put any money on those selections.
Don't put any money on
Others, Jeff McNiven, first appearance of the year, the GWS Motorsports, Can-Am, Hard Charger, the Evanses, Brad Belcher, North Queenslander, and Jake Williams are just a few to note. So now to the Pro Light class, 10 entrants for the 3.5 litre machine division. Wheelie, a huge fight here. Who wins for you?
Ali's consistency has got me. Like, I don't mean that in any way against any of the other competitors like that are running with her. But her consistency
and
is
the
there.
speed of the consistency
And
now
the speed of the consistency, she's getting there.
She's really
and she's up there. Like, have a think about what she's finished in the last few years. I think Jason Richardson for second. Matthew Barrows, mate. Dark horse. Like, come on. Good car.
Another one with good genes.
Mate. Like, flip a coin. And don't worry, there's a lot of others, but Ali's consistency at the moment.
Gets it.
I know we've done an interview with her, and it's not no reason that just her consistency is getting her there.
Yeah.
And you can't take that away from anyone. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, and that consistency of what she's doing.
It shines through, doesn't it?
It does shine through, mate.
Yeah, no, good points, Wheelie. I've gone with Brent Martin. He was third in 2019 outright. He's come off his recent Rainbow 480 victory in April. He's a genuine top 5 outright chance for me. He goes on top over Andrew Miles, who I believe is another genuine contender with a new engine. Jason Richards, another one to watch. Mel Brandle. Glennie Collis, shout out to them Griffith boys. All the best out there.
Yeah, Glennie.
And as Derek said, Ali and Matthew Burrows want to get quicker and quicker. So current ORC Pro Light leader Ali Howells has been at her absolute best in 2022. She sits third outright in the ORC standings, and earlier in the week, Derek and I caught up with Ali as she touched down in Alice Springs prior to a 4th Think campaign. Enjoy. So welcome to the show for the first time. How's Motorsports Ali Howells? Ali, how are we up there in beautiful Alice Springs?
Hi Toby. Hey Derek.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, we're good. We're here. We've arrived safely after 4 days on the road. We're here.
Well, Al, you'd have to be very, very happy about after Pooncarie. You have to be ecstatic over how you finished there.
It's. I mean, at the start of the year, we went to St George, and Josh obviously had a very successful finish up there, and so did I. And he rang me a few weeks later, and he's like, "Are we going to Pooncarie?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a bit of a short turnaround." He's like, "Come on, like, I've got to give this championship a crack."
Yep.
Or COVID ruins it again.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I
was fortunate for Josh at Pooncarie, but Sarah and I were, very, very happy with our result. In the end. That was it was quite a challenge, definitely being such a new track to us.
That's right. And so now you're coming into Finke, and like I said, 2019 was 14th outright, I think. 2021 was 17th outright. 16th. My mistake.
Yeah.
But you'll be looking for the top 20s again. You're sitting third in the championship with Brett Comiskey, so I'll tell you what, where you're sitting, Ali, consistency could get you that little one spot.
Yeah. Look, you never know what's going to happen at any race meeting, especially Fink. A lot plays on your mind in terms of the logistics and the what ifs of it all. But a top 10 finish would be really nice. And we'll see how we go. But in terms of the championship, I think the way the point score works and stuff, I think just to finish Fink itself would be beneficial.
I agree with you, Ali. If you can finish it, you'll be there. You and Sarah will definitely be there.
Yeah.
And Ali, I know it's close to your heart, the Queen of the Desert. I know you posted on social media the other day. It's the first time. There's a lady come up to you last year called Hayley, and she donated the award for the first woman driver across the line. I know you won it the 2 years prior to that, and it was the first year it was actually acknowledged at the presentation. So you must be pretty excited about that moving forward for all the lady competitors out there.
Well, I actually got a message 2 days ago saying that it's still unofficial. They're having a little bit of trouble in the office. I don't know the details, but there's been numerous calls on Hayley's part and emails and chasing up of a few things. But at this stage, I still don't think it's in the program.
Yeah, right.
So Hayley, regardless, will be here.
Yeah.
I know she's taking the special trip for the race, and she's got her own trophy as such ready for that competitor.
Yeah.
And I really hope it's me.
So do we.
So do we.
It's hard to find the words to describe Hayley. I met her in the late night dust on the Friday night. We sort of got chatting, and she was just astonished to hear about there wasn't much recognition. Not that I was whinging about her or anything, but she was sort of like, why haven't you got something, or what's what are the women doing here? And she took it on her own accord, and as I put up in my post, she did the rounds. She went up to the head office. She spoke to members of the committee, and she spoke to me throughout the weekend. Checked in with me how I was going, and it wasn't until it was all over she came and said, right, I've done it. I've got the ball rolling in terms of owning the rights for the trophy.
Sweet.
This is that we need, and
That's good.
and unfortunately as I said, she messaged me 2 days ago saying, I don't want to upset you, but don't be surprised if nothing gets announced on the Monday night at presentation, because she's struggling to sort of
Get it through.
get it through. So
Right.
and understandably, it's a volunteer based committee, so it's not their full time job. It's all volunteers, and they're all trying their best. So
right.
So the feel in the camp's pretty good. Obviously, Josh is well talked about. He's scouted as the future winner of the Fink Desert Race. I know he's got Eric alongside him again this weekend. How's Eric? How's Sarah? And a big thing, how's Father Glenn? How's his pulse heading into the weekend?
Yeah, everybody's really good. We're pretty relaxed. We get a bit, I suppose, envious is the word. We know there's a few teams up here that have been up here for, if not a couple of weeks pre-running, and they've got, Polaris's and Can-Ams and registered vehicles. They can do the pre-run pretty quick.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have a hire car from Thrifty.
Yeah.
We'll do a few passes of the track in that, and trying to absorb as much information from the track as we can. Yeah. And it's the same thing that we've done every year, and we'll continue to do this year, is do our own thing, and preparation is key. There's only so much luck that plays into this, and we'll do our best to.
And you know what, Al, you're dead right. What you just said, do your own thing, drive the race how you want to drive the race, and at the end of the day, it'll bring home the result.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep, I agree.
Very good, Ali. Once again, thanks for joining us on Frogs Hollow TV. Obviously, you know what you mean to us, the whole team at Howells Motorsport. We wish you all the best for the weekend, yourself, Sarah, and then obviously Josh and Eric in the other Gymco. Safe travels down and back, and hopefully, maybe this time next week we can have a phone call, a happy phone call
to
Alice Springs.
I really look forward to it. Thank you so much, boys.
Thank you, Ali. Cheers, Dom. Appreciate it. Bye.
Thanks, Ali. All the best. As we said, Director Howells Motorsport. We're not being biased here, but I've literally gone through my phone this week getting some pits. Got the first images of Ali and Josh sitting in the Colo Park pits on a blue tarp. They had everything set up. Glenn Howells has transformed that team into
the team
one of the great teams in Australia at the moment, and like
I said to you many times, mate. You got to remember both of them.
Yeah.
Ali and Josh have started at the bottom.
Yeah.
They haven't just gone. There's a whatever $1,000 car, go yarders. They started at the bottom, mate.
Yeah.
And look at that. You can never. I don't care what people say. You can't take it away from them, mate. Sorry.
No, I agree. So now onto the Extreme Two-Wheel Drive class, 26 trophy trucks. I mean, you'd go to Alice Springs just to watch these 26 go down the track. That's how good this field is. I'm all over Bowen 2022. I think I picked him last year. Maybe a little bit more hope than anything. Good friends with Bowen, Shane Hart. I just think got a feeling it could be their year in the trophy truck. Still not sure exactly what truck they're going to run, with the Masons one, I believe, arriving this week, or the Geyser Brothers trophy truck. But whatever one they run, I think they'll definitely be there. Price will no doubt be at the front. I'm just not sure whether the small amount of racing he's done in the last 2 years is an advantage for him. I know obviously they've got the team behind them, the support behind them. I don't know, off-road things can go wrong, and all the best to Toby Price. I think he'll fight out with Greg Gartner for that second or third spot on the podium. Also, I've got Dave Fellows there. He was second outright in 2018. He's a big shot. Also, Brett Comiskey, ever consistent. He's going for the ORC title, so he might just back it off a little notch. And I've gone Toby Waitley. He's one of our favourites for the final spot on the podium. He's a big contender. And then other contenders, Paul Will, Brent Smoothie, and good old Billy Ironman Geddes from up there in North Queensland. What do you reckon, Derek?
Well, Tobe, while I was sitting on the couch today with my feet up, I flipped a 50-cent coin with numbers on the back of it, and I can't pick anyone out.
Still got no winner.
I got no winner for
You haven't worked all day.
I'll give
you one job to pick winners at Fink, and you still couldn't pick a winner.
Sorry, I can't pick a winner out of that class.
No, there's some
There's a genuine trucks, and the genuine trucks, the whole lot of them are loose. They've got big kahunas. I'm not joking, man. They've got big kahunas.
I'll tell you,
if you got to remember, you got to get your. Oh mate, I don't know. I don't know how you pick that class. I'm leaving that one to you, but I'm sorry. But
I had a stab in the dark. That's about all I can say.
Sorry, mate. I'm not. Yeah, I can't.
And just to shout out, one of the guys that won't be there this year is Brad Gallard. I know he's busy with work, so unfortunately Brad won't make the trip to Alice, but I'm sure he'll be back next year. So now onto the pro class. We've got 23 entries in 2022. I think the champion will come out of this class. That's my really big call. Pure in the sense that the track seems smoother and faster. And I just think if a Howells, Hanson, a Taylor, Wrench, Owen, Ethelstone, if they can get that top spot in prologue, if they can get that clean air, smoother track, what I've heard this week from a few of the guys doing pre-running, they reckon it's a lot smoother in places. They reckon the dust will be limited with the amount of rain they've had. Obviously the dust in that latter end of the track.
On the way back.
On the way back, yeah. But I've gone with Josh Howells. I really like him this year. I tipped him in a few races that he's been at. I still arguably think he's the quickest off-road in Australia at the moment, without doubt. I've gone Matty Hanson's another for me, who's had zero luck, I think, over the last decade. He finished fourth there in 2014 with Leigh Wells.
Yep.
He's going to be hard to beat. I think he's a genuine outright chance. And the others for me, Ryan Taylor, huge shot at a podium. All the best, mate. I know he's just trying to bank the points, but he tried to do that Pooncarry, and look what happened down there. And also Shannon Wrench, can't discount him. And Aaron James is a bit of a smoky for me there in the single seater.
Well, I've got Josh as number one. Like he's got the angle for it now, mate. He's been so close, so many times, mate. I really think Josh. I think between Taylor and Hanson, it'll be a flip of the coin. And I know Shannon's got a new car, but I'm telling you what, mate, he knows that track very, very bloody well, mate. Yeah. And remember, he's not he never got the titles he got and the wins he's had without knowing Alice Springs, mate. And Fink is the race of races, mate.
It's the bats of off-road, that's for sure. I've also gone Shane Ethelstone. I think he's a massive chance. He hasn't had the greatest record at Fink. His record in WA, second at the recent Puncarry. All the best to you guys from the West.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Adam Trawalla too. Another mate of the show. We caught up with him and his dad down at Puncarry. Got another win over in WA. So big shout out to the guys over in Perth. Also Jake Swinglehurst. I mean, anyone that has their sister beside them. I mean, we haven't really seen much of that in off-road in my time. It's pretty unique, and
it is unique. And I'll tell you what, I had a yarn of them as I was filling up a car over for Puncarry, and
they're a good family.
Yeah,
team,
they're good, mate. They're a good family team. The whole crew just do their own little thing. They just know what's going on, and they've got a good car.
Tom had a bit of a shot at Jake down there actually, because Jake's getting the results and Tom's got to drive the truck out and Jake flies in, so he's a bit of a rock star now.
Jake, he is.
He's coming second in the championship and he deserves all the accolades. Former champion Glenn Owen, he's done basically no racing in the last 3 or 4 years, but all the best to Owen racing. I know Tyler Owen's also racing in the Illumicraft.
The car could be prepped too, mate.
Kent Battle in his Element V8. If there's a V8 that can contend, I think it's Kent Battle from up in Townsville. All the best to Norton's Racing up there. Some serious pedallers and so many to have
it's going to be hard, mate. Whoever gets it, like I said, it's a long way down. On the way home,
longer way back.
Longer way back, mate. Going down's a good bit.
Yeah.
It's the bit coming up.
When you can start tasting the rum cans and the checkered flag and all
well,
that sort
and
of
you
stuff.
see, and you get cars, you see dust in front, you go a little bit harder. It is like, it's a big race. Like I said, I haven't raced it, but been out there many a times, pitted many times, and I'll tell you what, have pre-run the track too a couple of times, and it's big.
Yeah. Another shout out, especially to young Cooper and Chris Weston from Off-Road Rush up there in on the Gold Coast. I mean, if there's a team that represents or displays the true spirit of off-road racing in Australia, it's Off-Road Rush. I mean, Reece Weston, you're an absolute legend, mate. He loves the show. He always
does,
and even Chris Weston, Reece's son, who's obviously done the Baja himself. He's got multiple Extreme Tour Drive titles across Australia. And then he's showing the young Cooper how to do it. I was talking to Reece, there's about 24, 25 of the Westons heading to Alice Springs this weekend. We wish you all the best and safe travels and bring another peg home for Off-Road Rush. Now onto our outright selections. It's really a lottery, but I'm going to stick firm. I'm going to get straight into it. I'm going to go Josh Howells, Matty Hanson, Bo Robinson, Shannon Wrench, and Ryan Taylor from 2022 at Fink. Willie?
Yeah, about the same, Tobe. About the same. Like I said to you, don't ouestimate Ryan Taylor, Shannon, Matty Hanson. The car stays together. Him and Joshua and Taylor they'll be doing this, mate. They'll be tapping each other. I've
got to work this weekend, but I don't know how much is going to get done because I've nearly got goosebumps thinking about how exciting this race is going to be.
I'm on the couch.
So that wraps up our Fink preview show for 2022. Once again, thanks to Matty Hanson, Ali Howells, Darren and Leigh Wells for your amazing insights. Also to the contributors who make this show possible. We just really appreciate your time so much. Before we go, I just want to hand over to Wheelie, who's got the last word for tonight.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Tobe. I just want to say thank you. I had a bit of a mishap on a racing quaddie, 12 days ago, and it nearly ruined my off-road career now. I'm back on track. But I want to thank everyone that's sent everything. I want to thank the Chapmans up there at Gympie. I've got a couple of cards and a heap of other people. Mate, the phone calls and the texts, I'm still going through them. I'm sorry I didn't get back to everybody. But I just want to say thank you. The sport's good. Life's good. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, Toby.
Look out for 62.
Look out for 62.
So stay safe, everyone. Enjoy your long weekend. And most importantly, stay tuned for the next episode of Frog Side TV. Cheerio.
Cheerio.